host with the most Jennifer, as always. Welcome back, welcome back. So I wanted to do something a little bit differently today, and something that I've been kind of thinking about doing for a couple months now. I just wasn't sure how I wanted to do this, but I think this might be something, hopefully, if I stick to it, something that I want to do every so often, talking about some of my personal favorites, things that HorrorPack has sent to us throughout the past few years. Now, at least with this first video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at things that they actually introduced to me, that they sent out, that I had never seen, maybe possibly never heard of, ended up watching and really, really digging, and, you know, very much thanks to them. Some of these movies, a lot of these movies, I never would have had the chance to check them out, whether I just would not have stumbled upon them, or maybe even giving them a chance if I did see them somewhere, whether at a library or on a streaming service or a store. So this is not going to be anything that is showing off, at least in this video. Like I said, it's not going to be showing off anything that we've gotten in the past of things that's maybe an upgrade for me, or something that I actually have wanted in my collection for some time, such as the first Tremors movie. That's something that I've always wanted in my collection. Or an upgrade for me would be like Reanimator. So like those movies aren't going to be in this video. Maybe I'll do another little sort of video set or something that shows off things that they've sent, that I'm so appreciative that they've sent us, because it's stuff that I've wanted in my collection. Who knows? I don't know. But like I said, right now, it's stuff that I want to show off that I've kind of fallen in love with because of the wonderful guys over at HorrorPack. These really aren't necessarily in any particular order, so it's not like my least favorite to my favorite or vice versa. But let's crack into it, because I've already spent like 2 minutes blabbering away and everything. First movie that I want to kind of talk about is one of our earliest limited editions, and it's a little anthology movie in Minutes Past Midnight. Now, this is one night that I know over the last year or two, maybe 2 years, I've been seeing floating around a lot on streaming services. It's not one of my absolute favorites anthology movies, but it is definitely one that I enjoy coming back to every so often. And actually, ever since or at least since I've gotten this in HorrorPack, I know that I've been consistently putting this in my Halloween binge every year. So, you guys know that I take my binges pretty seriously. So, but yeah, I mean, like, it's a fun little anthology. Like I said, it's not the greatest, at least to me. It's not one of my favorites or anything, but it's still worth checking out. And like I said, for me, rewatchability is pretty up there, I'm just saying. And just for you, those who are curious, this was our number 7 HorrorPack limited edition, so I'm just saying. See, next one up is one that I actually thought that I was going to absolutely hate. I really did. I'll be honest. And here's the reason why. Because I believe it was produced by M. Night Shyamalan, or I know M. Night Shyamalan had something to do with this movie. And right there, like, I'm not always the biggest fan of his movies. I like some of his movies. I was very much, very surprised by another movie of his that was done around the same time as this that I liked very much. But the one that HorrorPack sent, I believe they did send the other one not too long ago, but the one I want to talk about is Devil. The other one that I was talking about that I was surprised about was The Visit. Like I said, I know The Visit was in another pack, I believe after this one, but no, Devil is, and of course whoever brings this up, someone always says, is that the elevator movie? So yeah, it's in the elevator. It's the elevator movie. I know that when I initially reviewed this, I did have some major issues with, like, the ending. I was kind of like, oh, we had all this great stuff. At least I felt like all this great stuff, storyline and stuff. Even though you kind of knew who was the devil himself, it was still a really good story. And then I felt like the end with the guy in the car, I was like, I'm like, you didn't need to explain things. We could have figured that out ourselves and like maybe add a little something to it to our for ourselves. But I mean, even with that being said, even after all this time, it's, you know what, I've kind of forgiven the ending and I still really enjoy it. I have watched it maybe once or twice more since initially getting it, so yeah, rewatchability, you know, pretty decent. Not as high as Minutes Past Midnight, but it's still really enjoyable, you guys. Like I said, I know not everyone's a fan of it, but I had fun with it. I really did. So okay, but anyway, next movie up is one that actually wanted to see for a while, and I remember when we had gotten this in our pack because it was October when we got this, and I had actually checked this movie out at my library. No, no, no. Before you guys start like chiming in, I had not yet watched this when we received this movie. So this one is going into this list because I technically didn't buy it and I had not seen it. So it's going in, and that is The Houses That October Built. Yes, I know it's a found footage. Some of you guys I know just are totally turned off by found footage. I respect that. I tolerate found footage just because I've said it a million times. I'm going to say it a million and one times right now, that with every handful of really crappy found footage movies that I have to sit through because my curious butt is like, what is this one about? Like I said, every handful of those, you then come across at least one or two that you watch and go, that's got something. And I think this kind of did it for me too. I know that we did already have a few kind of like haunted house and other haunt related found footage movies by this point. And of course, obviously, tons of found footage in general. But for me, I don't know. I liked it. I liked it. It was a fun time. Maybe just because too it was also I watched it during October and everything, so it had that like Halloween feel. So that could be it. That could be it. I'm just saying. But no, it's a decent one. It's a decent one. I'm just saying. I still have not seen the second one, so horror pack. Just saying. I'm just saying. Next one up. This is one that I got in my very first Blu-ray pack. This is another anthology movie. One that I feel I don't know if I've really heard anything necessarily negative about this movie, but then again, I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about this movie. I know I feel like along with WNUF Halloween Special, I feel like a lot of people I kind of hear them say they mention me saying that I'm kind of like one of the few people that kind of really talks about this movie and supports this movie, including the sequel, and that is Volumes of Blood. Like I said, it was my first Blu-ray pack, but I think it was like the fourth or fifth actual horror pack itself. So, but yeah, it's a fun little one, and plus two, something I do love about this movie, and have a lot of respect for it. And I know that I think I said this in my review like years ago when I first said I need to re-review this movie. Hopefully, I get that up soon. So, plus another reason for me to watch this movie again. But something that I remember saying that I really respected about the people behind this movie is that this was really kind of like a student film or project or something, or some sort of like film course or something, where all these people wanted to kind of like do this movie so that way everyone involved could kind of get their feet wet a little bit and get them an actual like film credit to their name to be able to kind of then go out and show people like, hey, look, I'm just out of college or whatever, and look, I actually, you know, I have done some work. This is a major, I shouldn't say major motion picture, but this is an actual feature-length movie that we all did, participated in. We had our own sound guys, this. We did it on our own. This is what we can do. I was part of this. So, and you know what? I think they did a really, really, really good job on this. I do. So, I'm just saying, check it out. I know I've seen this and the second one. Um, on a few streaming services, so definitely check it out. Like I said, it's worth it. I'm just saying. So next one up, I only have like two more, you guys. I actually think the next two are both for my first DVD horror pack that I ever did. Obviously, not the first DVD pack in general, just my first ones, first or second ones maybe. But the first one that I want to talk about is one that I absolutely freaking hated. I hated when I first watched it. Thought it was a piece of garbage. It was stupid. It was too like teeny bopper Dawson Creek type thing, and it just hated it. But then I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it and watched it again. Liked it a little bit more the second time. Kept thinking about it. Watched it again. Liked it even more until I just eventually loved it. And that is Crywolf with little John Bon Jovi. I know this is a fun one. This is a fun one. I feel like it does kind of take a little bit of a page from the original April Fool's Day, and took it to the extreme a little bit, let's say, because I don't really want to spoil anything for anyone who may not have seen this movie already, so, but no, it's a fun one. It's a decent little, like I said, it's such a teeny bopper type of movie, but it's fun. I feel like it's a little bit smart. I feel like the stereotypes in this are just so, just like, oh, like really, that's just so stereotypical. Like, that's stereotype 101 right there. I'm just saying, but I mean, whatever. It was, especially too when you think of it for the time, this came out like 2000 or something, or right around there, 2004. And honestly, to tell you the truth, it wasn't that far off because all these kids back then, and I can vouch for this because I was right there, seeing all the people dressing like this. Everyone was dressing like this, I'll be honest. So, but no, it's a fun one, you guys. It is. It is. Like I said, I hated it at first, but I definitely was one of those people that it just took me some time to actually like this one. So, but anyway, last but not least, like I said, this is another one that I believe I got from my first or second DVD pack. Another one I feel like a lot of people aren't really aware of. It's not anything special, but I think it's worth checking out because I feel like there are little things throughout this movie that sometimes you don't necessarily see the first time, so it's kind of fun to go back and catch some of these things. Plus, it is kind of a little creepy, especially if you're afraid, not necessarily being claustrophobic, but just being locked in somewhere and not being able to escape. So, but that is The Door. And plus, too, I love that cover for some reason. I know it's so basic, but I love that cover. I really do. But The Door, though, it's a really basic story of this young kid who takes this new night security job, overnight job, who literally only job is to watch this door, and if anyone comes out, he's got to call some number on the phone next to him and be like, the door's open. Doesn't need to know any more than that. He's just like, okay, this is kind of weird, but it's good money. And plus, too, I think it's like his birthday or something, so all of his friends decide to come celebrate his birthday, and of course, dumbass kids open up the door and go beyond the door and get stuck inside behind the door because they're dumbass kids. But no, I mean, it was kind of like a fun little one. Like I said, it's nothing great. It's not going to change your world. But it's kind of creepy if you are someone like me, like I said, to be locked up somewhere and there's no escape. Like, oh, I think that's what it is, because it does kind of creep me out just enough because I have that fear. But it's kind of a fun one, very sort of cheesy, and it will, you kind of know what's going to happen at the end, but even you're just like, oh, please don't go there, and when you do, you're like, I remember feeling like that the first time when I watched, and I'm just like, oh. But no, it's a fun one, you guys. Definitely check it out. I think I've seen this floating around a little bit. I would say, you know what, best bet? Check some of your free services first. I feel like this might come up on one of those first, but fun fun one. Check it out. I'm just saying. So yeah, let me know, you guys, your thoughts on these movies. Let me know what some of your favorites horror pack movies were that they sent to you, whether it was something you wanted in your collection or even just something that they turned you on because you never heard of it and they sent it to you. So let me know. But till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.